Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Game Ball podcast stream. I'm your host, Mark, and we're here for the news hour. Those of you watching live, I do apologize for the delay. A couple things going on. Friday night was unable to stream, and and then Saturday, obviously, for those of you that joined, we wanted to. Make sure we beat Persona. So I did not want to cut into any of that going in there. So we're here, Sunday night. This is your little taste pre-Nier. I'm probably going to go after this, grab a quick bite to eat for like 2-3 minutes or something. And, then start Nier. But, yeah, thank you for joining me. So I hope everybody's September's been fine. We're midway through the month already, which is crazy. Heading towards that special time of year. And before we get into the games that I'm playing, I thought I'd mention it up front because I tend to forget to mention this until about, the end of the stream. But just giving you an update of what the Extra Life schedule will be. We don't have anything in terms of what will happen on those days, but we do know what the schedule is. The website's live, not fully ready. I'll probably have that done sometime this week in terms of, the paragraph, explaining stuff, but and have the URL ready for you guys and all, and you'll see that pop up, during streams, and it'll be in the description of everything from Monday forward. Essentially, I can do the tiny URL sometime in the next day or two, so just look out for that. So our schedule is that we are instead of doing just 1 or even 2 weeks in November, because everybody's schedule is sort of thrown off. I am the only one of the crew that does not have a child or will not have a child at that point. I've decided we're going to take the first 4 weeks, first 4 Saturdays, I should say, of November, and we're going to run some type of stream there, some type of mini marathon. I'm going to take one of the days and do a full marathon. Not 24, but 12 to 18, depending on how I feel. And then we'll sort of do the rest at other times so that, everybody can sort of figure out their schedule, and then if they need to postpone or go to the next Saturday or something because of child issues, kids sick, something like that, we can do that. I'm ready. I'm basically going to be there all 4 Saturdays in some form or another. I know my day that I'm going to do the full thing for, which is slightly subject to change for the start time of it, or we'll do like a split up big stream like we did last time for my virtual stream. I'm going to do it whichever Saturday Extra Life Day is, which I think is the 2nd, which would be the first Saturday. It's either the first or second Saturday in November. That'll be my day. My plan is 12 to 18 hours, 2 things. I already know I got scheduled. I'm going to do a Link to the Past randomizer, and we're going to fight the Reaper in Persona 3 Reload, and do that fight a bunch of times, and just have fun. I'm going to try and think of fun things to do, wheel stuff, and kind of try and get this as best as I can do virtually. Maybe we'll do whatever game I'm on at that point, because hopefully I'm still not playing Donkey Kong Country at that time. Maybe we can play the Monday game during that. My Discord will be open, so if anybody is watching, yes, Night Duck, I do mean an Archipelago Link to the Past randomizer. But yeah, it's going to be a bunch of those. I basically, my plan is just do a whole bunch of stuff by myself on one day of the week. Just because there's a lot of things that, I'd like to stream and do, and people can jump in and out of the Discord and hang out, maybe play some multiplayer stuff with us. But we're still working on what the other 3 Saturdays will be. So just listen to this podcast, stay tuned to our social medias and stuff like that. But yeah, that's a temporary plan. For our 9th year, we're going to be doing, like I said, first 4 Saturdays. We'll be doing something. I would say just because, you know, since I'll be involved in all of them, I can say we will at least be live for at least 6 hours each Saturday. You know, whether if I got to take the reins and do multiple Saturdays, we'll do that. I mean, that is the privilege that I have of being the only childless member of this Extra Life team. So, and you might see other days of the week. You know, Jen will probably be part of our team over at Roxy Foxy. You know, might raise money separately too, if that's up to her. But yeah, it might not just be those Saturdays. You know, we may also, you know, have alternate fundraising times. So, yeah, just be on the lookout for that. I will probably narrow down. I will know most of what I'm doing probably in the next week or two as I look into things. But the only thing that would change is if I'm going to do any of the current streams that I'm doing, just do an episode of those during it. So, and I don't know whether I'll still be on Eternites at that point or anything like that. Which good transition, Mark. I did that without even thinking. Yeah, what I've been playing. Big thing will start off on the bat because I might do a small video just talking about my thoughts on the game itself and all that, more of a spoiler, sort of just talking about the story and everything. We did beat Persona 3 Reload. From what I can tell, watching other streamers play the original and also my experience with the original, which was only like, I think I played a month in-game of that. There's very big differences. Some of them help. Some of them take a little bit of the Persona charm out of it in certain cases. Most of the things made quality of life better throughout the game, which I'm learning watching the streamer play. So, yeah, we got 99 of the 101 things that Elizabeth requires to get the trophy. I think there's a trophy for that, or achievement in our case. So, got through all that. We were basically over leveled. I think recommended levels were between 75 and 80. And we were at 92 when we finished. There was one fun thing. For the last boss, it's basically a boss rush. You're doing, I think, 3 consecutive boss fights. Each time, apparently, I was able to go down to Elizabeth to refresh my SP. Did not know that. Did not do it. Thankfully, I had enough SP items to refresh back to full after each fight. I almost fucked up on the second fight where I got a little greedy and started to was like, all right, I'll go one more round and then I'll hit him with the big nuke, which is what I call the Therages in it. So yeah, it was essentially you know, I had to use more items than I needed, but I had plenty of items. I now know when we go in to fight the Reaper that I can just buy a shitload of items and just be ready to go ham on it. The funniest thing that happened in it is the final hit of, I guess you could technically call it the boss's first form. The final hit was dealt by a magic mirror item that I had cast on Yukari. Like 6 rounds before, and the boss had not sent a magic spell, a non-almighty magic spell, our way. And then when it hit and I saw the reflect pop up and then bounce and then the health bar go to 0, I was like, oh, did I just kill the final boss with an item I used 6 rounds ago? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we basically did, because essentially we had my grinding that I did allowed me, we had enough precious eggs, which allowed us to refill SP with no problem to full. And we had 6 somas, which were, you know, full health, full SP item, which was like my pull in case of emergency item, if we ran out of precious eggs, and some other thing I got from Tanaka that did the same thing. And yeah, so we essentially, by doing all that in the grinding, and then I bought a whole bunch of the fights had a lot of ailments, so I used my vast wealth to have the clear all ailments for all party members thing. I had about 25 of those, so we were fine. And I also used my money to buy a accessory from the like black market high-end accessory guy, the bartender at the club, that made me null to all ailments. Which, thinking back on it, I probably should have bought 4 of them, and you know, they wouldn't have been able to fuck with me at any point in terms of ailments. But I think we got helped with what the other ones had on them. I think I had like a fire thing for. I probably could have got the null stuff for everybody if I really like. Probably going to go deep in that respect for when we fight the Reaper. Well, now I know I can buy some of those things. But yeah. So we essentially, by all the grinding we did and getting up the levels we did, 100%. We're just able to push through it much easier. Like watching that final fight, which you can see, VOD's here, it'll be up on YouTube soon. That without the stuff we had, which was the ring that nullified all ailments on my character, on Rufus, and that we had gotten Messiah, which I think is the highest persona you can get. There's an achievement for fusing Messiah. And what Messiah does is you're resistant basically to everything non-almighty in terms of physical and magic. And some of them have reflect and some of them have absorb, as well as being resistant. So, you know, I basically just, for the final fight, which I have to do for the Reaper too. That's the main reason I have Messiah, is for when I was eventually going to fight the Reaper. I just made sure I had him on. He I had 3 spells, a physical thing, a spell, and a heal on him, just so I didn't have to switch at any point and forget to go back. So we just used him throughout. Luckily, the magic spell was almighty, so no matter what his defenses were, we were still able to hit. So yeah, a very thought out strategy. If you watch that game and think that I don't think battles, I was very much prepared when building Messiah when we got him. Because we had a lot of passive things on him in terms of attack up, defense up. You know, made the only thing the funniest thing, the only thing I had to throw away that I got his last upgrade at level 98 was to help. It made magic spells 25% better. But since I had only an almighty spell, that thing would not work. So I just had to get rid of it. But yeah, essentially everything was smooth. The ending's great, which, like I said, when I make the spoiler video, you know, I'll record some gameplay while doing that, or take like a clip of me playing through Tartarus from one of the past videos, and just you know, talk over that. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, so that was we defeated God. You know, as you do at the end of those games, that's not a spoiler for anything. The things that happen in it are spoilers that I will not mention here. but yeah, it was good. You can obviously see where they improved, like gameplay wise and story wise from 3, 4 to 5, which makes me very excited for 6 when that comes. Essentially, 3 had just one dungeon, which was Tartarus, and then you went and fought bosses at every full moon. Essentially what that was. And, you know, in 4, each boss has its own dungeon. And in 5, they took that thing of each boss has its own dungeon and made it, like, have a meaning. Be, like, more than just being a dungeon for the boss. Like, because 4, each dungeon was like a TV channel because they went into the TV. The Midnight Channel was like a TV show, and since it was like PS2 graphics, you know, they couldn't do much outside of just change the background and sort of stuff like that. With 5, with the PS4, you know, power, you're able to, you know, make little touches here and there to sort of, because you're going into the mind and the heart of the person. So that was where everything past 3 really improved. I think I like these characters better than 4. 4 has maybe 1 or 2 characters that I would put above these characters. I think Rise, when you think about it, is a pretty good character in 4. You know, once you get past, like, the backstory they have for her and, you know, her social link from what I remember. And Chie's really good. You know, there's some problems with the other ones in terms of, you know, with the game being made almost 15 years ago, I guess, at this point, for Persona 4. But yeah, this one had some of those problems too, especially with 2 of the social links. But, you know, you gotta just remember that. 5 was able to escape most of that terribleness and creepiness that comes into Persona games. So, yeah. Yeah, just look out for the spoiler video coming. You know, we'll probably have that, the Final Fantasy one. That'll get through the winter, you know, for content, for big stuff like that. The main thing I got to do is record the Final Fantasy footage to, you know, I'll probably just start hard mode and just record that. But yeah, so I am excited. The plan is at some point we're going to have something with Persona 3 Dancing in the Moonlight. I think my plan, talking, like, sort of, I haven't talked to Jonathan about this, but if I do play Persona 4 and Persona 5, because what I'll do with 5 is I'll play it and have the thing of how to get all max everything in terms of social links, so you guys get to see the full story there, because I know the story. But, you know, get the chart of how to do it. We'll play Royale so that I'll have new content that I don't know about. But that's way down the line, you know, if we get there. And 4. So what I would like to do is, since we're doing Dancing Moonlight here, if I play and beat 4, maybe we'll do that dancing game and then 5 and its dancing game. As just sort of the fun celebration for beating those games. Moving on, we have Donkey Kong Country. I got the candy in the level we're on, in the world we're in. So I no longer can save state for 2 more weeks. If we're doing the same levels over and over again for the next 2 weeks, I get the save state on the 3rd week. To get by, that was the rule that me and Metal Militia and Tom made. For that, so yeah, hopefully we won't have to do that, and I got stuck there. I made a great line from, I think it was the last stream, that I feel like a speedrunner without the speed, because I was essentially, for those 2 levels, before I save stated, I basically could memorize the entire level, but I just couldn't execute them, you know, because I'm not a great platformer, and I still get slight nervous anxiety, you know, jumping for platforms. I don't know if you can see it on my face when you're watching, when I sort of tense up a little bit, at least I can feel that. And yeah, so we might be done that game soon. And on to something else. Maybe at some point soon. Tom is back with his playthrough of whatever he's gonna if he's gonna go back to Chrono Trigger, or not. But yeah, looking forward to doing that. What else? Because I only streamed those 2 games this week. So I played more NCAA. I'm the greatest coach in the history of North Carolina football. As we're going to our 4th straight national championship game. I have the greatest receiver in the history of college football on my team. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, I have the greatest cornerback in the history of college football as well on defense. So the fun part I'll say about that is this is the first time in a long time where I've played offense and defense, because recent Maddens were so frustrating defensively in that I couldn't stop anybody. Like, literally nothing I did would cause the computer offense to be stopped. It would require them making a mistake, essentially. Like, I couldn't sack them well. I'm probably not good at the game. Like, yes, let's put that caveat to the side. I'm probably not good at the game. But, like, nothing I did, like, I couldn't, at least now with NCAA, I can get to the quarterback, I can get sacks every so often. Not as, like, I gotta remember I get frustrated, like, I want to get to the quarterback every time. Welcome back, Jonathan. So I am looking, I feel more involved in the defense there. So, thumbs up for that. They did a really good job with that. The one thing I will say is, the only thing that's slightly disappointing so far in the game is that the presentation, while good, is not great. I was hoping, it's an argument that I made back when I was talking about NHL 24, when I was playing that, is that all I want, if you're going to have records in the game, and keep track of them, like they keep track of a lot of records in this game, and they even let me know when other players from other schools beat records. Why they can't have an animation when your guy beats the record for the first time. Like, say the record's 17 touchdowns in the year at your school. Well, when you get an 18th touchdown, it pops up. Like, they already do a little graphic when guys get 1,000 yards and stuff like that. Like, even have it pop up like that. Like, the teammates celebrate differently, and it just pops up the little graphic, new, record for North Carolina football, 18 receiving touchdowns, and person's name. That's it. I'm not looking for, like, they need to have a whole different cutscene or anything like that. I mean, the hockey game does a different cutscene, but does it acknowledge anything? Like, I think I said this about back when I was talking about NHL 24. They do the cutscene every time they get to a goal milestone, like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, like all the 10s. But when I got to 93, which would break the NHL goal record, Wayne Gretzky has 92 goals. It's the record in a season, which probably will never be touched. The top goal scorer this year got to 69. Nice. And, no threat of getting another 22 goals at any point. It's just a ridiculous rate. It's over a goal a game. But when I got to 93, because in video games you can be that ridiculous, it didn't say anything. Didn't acknowledge it at all. Like, nothing. But when I got to, like, goal 90, it celebrated my 90th goal. Like, it's just presentation stuff like that, which, not a game developer, obviously. But I don't know how much work would go into. They do all these different cutscenes anyway. I call them cutscenes. Away from the action for different things. Why they couldn't just, you're keeping track of the records on the back end anyway. Maybe it's a thing that they cut out to be able to do something else in the time period they have. But that's the only frustration I have, is you don't feel tied to setting records and stuff like that. Like, doesn't matter. And also, I would like to keep track of the, there's a bunch of bugs with the coaching stuff where they don't even, like, I'm going for my 4th national championship, and there's not even like a thing on the screen, like when you go back to the main menu going, 4-time, whatever. It just feels like they cut a little bit of corners on certain things, which I understand. Hopefully some of that stuff is back next year. But yeah, so I played some FIFA, just because I got in the mood. Played that. I'm looking for another game to play on the side at home, because I'm probably not going to get Zelda for a little bit. Just other things coming up monetarily. So I probably won't play the new Zelda for a while. So I'm trying to find things on Game Pass and stuff like that. That for just, like, not palate cleansers, but just things for me to play when I'm not doing the streams 4 nights a week. Yeah. So other than football, I play football. Yeah. So maybe we'll have more stuff to talk about once I start finding things. Maybe I'll just jump around to smaller games and play them. Between, Steam and Xbox and PlayStation on there. So, well, Call of Duty is going to be coming out soon, so I'll have multiplayer updates on that. So, see if I can get my KD over 1. But yeah, that's about it for what I've been playing. Let's get to the news. Unfortunately, I hate the first thing that I have to bring up here. And it's the, there we go. Alright. I'll scroll up to the headline because I was kind of sort of skimming through this. The entire team at Annapurna Interactive has resigned. The gaming team. Essentially, it was the, like the publishing arm, I think, and all that, like, or, the 25 members of it all resigned. They were trying to negotiate spinning off from Annapurna, like not spinning off and not being called Annapurna, just being its own thing under that. To spin the gaming segment off as its own company. Oh, maybe I didn't know that. Oh, okay. I thought they just wanted to, like, be separated, like, internally from the other divisions of Annapurna. There's, like, different, like, the people that made the deal with Remedy is different than these people. And I thought that's where this spin was coming. But here, they just want to be their own company within Annapurna. Close to 25 members and a lot of the directors, which brings the number up to about 30. They're still negotiating. But it looks like, according to this, they rehired Epic Games executive Hector Sanchez to sort of, I guess, take over for what they did. Hey, Dan. Welcome to the Game News Hour here. We're just talking about people resigning from a game company. So, yeah, this week, all the existing contracts, they insist will still go through, which includes the Remedy one and a couple other games that are coming out. So, the plan is the backfill and stuff like that. But something for everybody to resign, there had to be some bad faith discussion in the negotiations there. I don't think it gets into that. I just think it's a billionaire maybe trying to call their bluff, and then everybody resigned, and now they're scrambling. So, if you're looking forward to any games coming out for, from Annapurna, they will still happen as of right now. So, yeah, this is all reported. Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg. If you want to go check out the full story there. Come up next here, Other big news was Sony revealed the PlayStation 5 Pro that's coming out. The big thing, as you can see here, it will cost $70, or I'm sorry, $700. I wish it cost $70. $700, and doesn't come with a disc drive, and it launches in November. So, yeah, this is, I guess the upside to this. Apparently the games look really great, from the few that people have mentioned, but, you know, the GPU is larger, ray tracing is more improved, so games with really good lighting will look a lot better on this. And there's like machine learning. I guess it's like DLSS, sort of. I'm not much of a tech person, but yeah, this so the Slim here is basically the same design, and as Night Duck says in the chat here, the Slim doesn't even fit on his desk. Yeah, so I love, one of my favorite things that came out of this was there's a meme of people just putting black electrical tape across their PlayStations and saying they got a PS Pro, which made me laugh because people were obviously making jokes, but I could see scammers on eBay doing that, and getting people to buy old PS5s for, $800-900, whatever it turns out to be, in general here, when it gets to the secondary market. But yeah, if you want to listen, they put out a like press conference technical thing that Mark Cerny, who does a really good job of explaining details whenever he has to. I will scroll down. There is a little checkbox list here. So yeah, we talked about this, but the 67 more compute units than the current PS5 and 28% faster memory. It makes it 45% faster for rendering, which should make it smoother, which I'm guessing means a lot of things can run at 60, which maybe even up to the 120, I guess. I don't know. The advanced ray tracing we talked about. Anything that has really good ray tracing things or lighting in general will be helped by this. And then the DLSS version sort of thing, the AI-driven upscaling. Like, that's the easiest way to describe it in my head. It also has wireless technology, Wi-Fi 7, which I would recommend, if you're able to, always hardwire your systems. If you're doing downloads, it's the quickest and easiest way to download things. But if you can't, and you have Wi-Fi 7, I'm assuming this would make that task a lot easier. Yeah, so this, the main thing about it is, it lists here the Pro Advanced games, Alan Wake, to Assassin's Creed, Demon's Souls, Dragon's Dogma, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Gran Turismo, we'll ignore that game, Horizon Forbidden West, I'm talking about the Bigots game about wizards, we'll ignore that one. Horizon Forbidden West, Spider-Man 2, Ratchet & Clank, so a lot of, first-party stuff, Last of Us 2, Part 2 and all that stuff. I'm assuming this would help. Current accessories will be compatible with the Pro, which I guess this would make the VR better. That would be the only thing. If you are interested in this, it should boost some of the other games, as it says here. The 8500 backwards compatibles should be boosted, but yeah. So if you are interested, pre-orders begin on September 26th at the, I remember this website, direct.playstation.com, and pre-orders for retailers will start on October 10th. So yeah, If you ah, you gave me an idea for great if I take a week off from work to do every night. Doing that is to stream some Alan Wake or Alan Wake 2 and call it Alan Week. That is in the brain now for future ideas. I will credit you for that. But yeah, if you're looking to do the mid upgrade, you know, $700 in November. I think the main thing this will do, and I'm getting to that story, the downside of it, but I think it could allow for people who couldn't get PS5s to get PS5s now, because though they could, you know, I would imagine if I was Sony, I would, if you have a big backlog of these systems, to just, you know, cut the price $50, $100 or something. And if you want to just flesh out as many of the disk drive systems, you can still sell those at full price, because people that want the disk drive are going to buy that. But this basically would eliminate any of the non-disk drive ones or the ones you got a discount. You probably already would have done that with the Xbox upgrade that's coming. Not upgrade, like they're not doing this mid-step upgrade. Yeah, me and Night Duck are on the same page with this. You know, the Xbox thing isn't a mid-upgrade like this. It's, you know, they're doing a bigger storage and stuff for all digital. Make it like it's an upgrade of the S. Essentially. So, yeah. But, as I said, there is a bad side to this. You know, it's sparking the drive scale rush, but then you get the scalping concern. You get the people that will, try and just buy the disk drive, which they do sell as an $80 accessory, and just put them online for hundreds of dollars or more. It's the scalpel problem. Scalping problem that insists that happens in all media and technology. You know, just a shame. Walmart has sold 1,000 of those drives since the announcement when this was published on the 12th, so Thursday. And there were another 200 in people's carts. It's sold out at Amazon, Best Buy, and Target as of the 12th, but it is still available through the PlayStation Direct store. But yeah, it's starting to pop up on eBay with markups and stuff like that. So, the one positive, I think that this thing that will get hit with a lot of, people, buying it and then marking it up, even though they don't need it. Because I remember when, and there was a time that I was trying to do this when I was a younger man, when the NES Classic came out, or maybe it was the SNES Classic. I tried to buy 2 because I got in the middle of the night, because at the time I was much younger. And, even though I had work the next day, I would be up at like 1, 2, 3 in the morning. And, when I was first finding out, Wario64 dropped a link saying, hey, Walmart has the SNES Classics up. And I went and grabbed 2, and I was going to put 1 on the, eBay or, resell it somewhere. But Karma got me and canceled the orders because the thing went up too soon, and then I just bought the regular one when it, I think they capped it, you can only buy 1. And I'm like, I'm not going to buy 1, and then go buy another one later. Yeah, I just ended up keeping the one I had. But yeah, there was a time when I was probably going to do something shitty and shady like this. But, yeah, so, as you can see here, it shows you how the The drive just basically attaches to this part, and it just that's what makes the bump out. So, yeah. So it's gonna be interesting following this stuff over the next couple months here and just see exactly how it goes. In other funny news, the Borderlands movie, which I had considered if something did not come up in my life, I was going to go use my movie pass that I have to go check out this movie and just see it for myself. Didn't end up getting there, but 31 million. That's from everything I could tell, and it's weird that Gearbox was involved in it, because everything I've seen is that they didn't get the characters some parts right. Like, yeah, I think if I don't remember correctly, it may have been a PG-13 movie. I'll see if that's listed here. But yeah, see if they mention that here. But I get the feeling that a lot of the things, you know, were just like they just couldn't get it right. You know, here, you know, the character portraits here just, I love Kate Blanchett, but you know, probably could have got somebody, you know, a little bit what's the word I'm looking for? Not younger, because age doesn't, you don't really know like what this age is here on Lilith, but just a different attitude. I feel she didn't have the right attitude for Lilith, despite being a great actress. You know, you probably, as much as I love my fellow Philadelphian Kevin Hart, you could have probably found someone better for this role, for Roland. That would have fit more. And this is definitely like a body size thing. I think you could have got somebody a little more taller, you know, to play that role. But they seem to want to go with names here. You know, Jamie Lee Curtis, again, great actress, probably not really particularly right for this role. There's, you know, but you know, if Jamie Lee Curtis wants to do your movie, you let Jamie Lee Curtis do your movie. This was the one that was probably pretty good casting, but everything I heard is that the writing for Tiny Tina was pretty bad. In that, yeah, I doubt anyone said those words. Or it's like, I don't know. It's just weird. Just the things I've heard. I'm gonna probably watch it if it comes to free streaming for me, like Prime or something like that. But yeah, Jack Black was, you know, the person of the moment for that. You know, and yeah, this could have been anybody, but so I'm not going to disparage Florian too much for that. Gina Gershon, again, you know, it just feels like, if they went with actors that actually fit the characters more than names, it's probably where they could have, like all the people that aren't like A-list, B-list, in some cases C-list, you know, or have names attached, look like they fit the part better. You know. And it's a reason why, okay, true, okay. Yeah, it's just, there's no, it's no surprise that this game did as poorly as it did, or this movie did as poorly as it did. Some of the stats they have here, Borderlands Let's Stay in Cinema was September 5th. I was going to go Labor Day weekend. And made 31 million box office worldwide. and only $15 million in the U.S. The production budget was $115 million. That does not include marketing. That's another about $30 million. So you're looking at, a cool 115 to 120 million loss for Lionsgate here. But yeah, it was just, I think they didn't know exactly how to do, Dino De Laurentiis. It's just, you go, I think a lot of the things was you just, Craig Mazin is a great writer, and he was removed from the credits, so I guess they rewrote his script maybe. And, this whole sentence here, while big names had players intrigued, questions the casting and characters, and, and then writers left, and, this is how not to make, in a thing where we were getting spoiled with okay, video game translations, to TV and movies. This was one that harkened back to, your Dooms and stuff like that, that just completely missed the mark. Here. Alright, and moving back to video games here. This was one of the things I heard about Star Wars Outlaws, was that they had instant fail stealth missions, where you couldn't, get away or fight your way out of it. The creative director, Julian Guthrie? Guthrie, is that how you said it? You righty? They were incredibly functioning, and they will be fixing it in the patch, apparently. And it's something they'll be working on improving. It's not going to be removing the failsafe completely, but yeah, so just to make it better of a thing, because you can't really take out a core of the game. Yeah, the more, yeah, so they're sort of correcting it. They were disappointed by the scores, and from most of the scores, stealth missions into stealth missions. Yeah, so yeah, essentially, most of the people that I saw that played through this game or started to play through this game, this was their number one criticism of it, and was probably that they did not like. I'm sort of in the middle here. I like that quote from Night Duck in the chat. We apologize that players were previously required to get good. Yeah, essentially, once you figured out, for those of us that played like Metal Gear and stuff and actually did the sneaking parts of Metal Gear and didn't just get into firefights all the time, you can figure out a way around it. I also, in Deus Ex, beat the entire, I should bring up that trophy sometime, or achievement or whatever, I forget which game, where I beat it all without killing anyone, including bosses. I used the tranquilizer darts on everyone, or I did the, knock them out takedowns. So, watching the people, it didn't seem that brutal to me, but I can see, the problem became, I think, where the middle ground lies with me, is that I didn't like the instant when they see you, it's over. There's not a chance to run away and possibly hide. That was the part that, I don't mind the other thing they were complaining about was when you got caught on the stealth mission, you would instantly, and it starts you at the beginning of the whole thing again. That I'm fine with. It teaches you not to test, you need to figure out how to do this. But I do agree that you should have been able to run away. If because a lot was happening. I think I was watching either Jesse Cox or somebody. And sometimes they would turn the corner and there's no mini map or anything, and there's no way to peek around corners and stuff. Like, he was trying to peek around corners, and if he peeked around, the person would see him and it'd be over. Like, you need to give... I'm not saying you need vision cones like in Metal Gear Solid 1, but you... yeah, exactly. As the quote that Night Duck put in the chat here is that the quality of a stealth game is dependent on how fun it is when you get caught. And this was not fun. You don't give the player any chance to, you know, react if they accidentally walk into someone's vision. Like, and total accident, not bad gameplay. Like, you just turn a corner and, like, the thing is programmed to, if it sees a little bit of your body, it'll pop. You know, and that was what the unfair part is. Now, if it gives you a chance of you're face-to-face with the guard, I don't want you can start fighting back and shooting to get out of it, because that kills the point of it. But you should be able to, if you pop around and some guy goes, hey! You know, you should be able to book and hide. That's all I was really asking for. So, yeah. It's cool that they're addressing it. But it probably should have been, you know, found out in the first place. Yeah, just an update on this Xbox Game Pass thing. That's our next story here. If you get the standard tier, which is the $14.99 a month one, you do not get Modern Warfare 3, which, no big loss. But you also don't get, like, Starfield, Diablo, etc. You know, the, you know, it also doesn't give you the, you know, you do not get day one titles and all that stuff. So, yeah, it's just a little more clarity as we got to the September 12th date, that, you know, shows you, you know, what this is actually going to look like on a practical standpoint. So, yeah, I just wanted to jump that in because that September 12th date did pass on Friday or Thursday, when all this would be upgraded. So, I have the ultimate, the top thing here, where nothing really changes, and I get the PC and, you know, PC and Xbox for both. Mainly for you guys, you know, for streaming, so that I can play games like Persona 3, or I think that new one that's coming out, Metamorphosis, I think it's called. You know, to be able to play those games, I think that's on Game Pass. If not, we'll play it when it eventually gets there. But Metaphor, there you go. I don't know if that's a Game Pass game or not. I think it is. But, you know, so I can play games like that for you guys. Yeah. Right. Metaphor. Fantazio. Got to give the full title. Yes, if there's ever a colon, I need to know the full title. Because, you know, it's Mannequin 2 on the Move. That's the title of that movie. But yeah, so I'll leave this here for anybody watching the video or live for like 3 or 4 seconds here if you want to try to... But you can find the IGN story here that sort of breaks it down. They've been doing a really good job with that. Next up here, Call of Duty is not going to have the campaign early access. Fine. I don't know if you really need, you know, early access for campaigns on single player. I'm probably going to play through it anyway. What I hope is that I'll be able to play all the other Black Ops before playing Black Ops 6. I want to make a mini stream out of that for you guys. But maybe I'll watch a lore video or something. I didn't. It's funny saying lore. But, you know, Black Ops is so tied into, at least some of them are tied into, you know, modern stuff. So, just to keep track of what alternate history we're living through here. So, yeah. They'll probably still have, and they've had some betas for multiplayer and stuff like that. But, you know, they're just not going to, you know, do the, early access for the campaign, which is fine by me. And it'll be a Game Pass game. So, as it says here, Beta Weekend 2 just finished up, and the body shield feature, which we'll see if I'm probably not going to be able to take advantage of that in multiplayer right away, but it's an interesting thing. So, yeah. So if you were looking to play the campaign a little early, it is not going to happen. Mark's 9/11 lore video. Oh, man. Yeah, that's going to be... I have to be really careful what I type in when I go looking for that. In good teaser news, Tony Hawk teases that the anniversary of Pro Skater, what they're going to announce is something that fans will truly appreciate. Activision, it's been dormant since the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 was released. So maybe this will be 3 and 4 will be announced, or maybe just 3. Maybe they found somebody to do both, because that's kind of where they were with that. But yeah, so your Tony Hawk fans out there, there's going to be a big announcement coming up on September 29th for the anniversary, or around September 29th. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. If you want to watch Tony Hawk animated kids show, he's got one called Skatebirds, and it's inspired by his Birdman nickname. So that guy looks like Tony Hawk. I saw a great video. Some of them are great, but I saw one. They were doing a contest for like comedians, like an improv comedy. I forget what exactly it was. And this one girl, all of her comedy is talking about, how she has ADHD and can be distracted very easily. So, they're asking the questions to her, and then all of a sudden she just goes, "Holy shit, is that Tony Hawk?" As one of the judges up there. And it was Tony Hawk. And she ended up moving on to the next round because one of the guys was like, "I think this person legitimately has ADHD." Oh, that'd be funny if he's dating Hawk Girl in it. But, yeah. The head judge was like, "Oh, yeah, I think she legitimately has this. This isn't like a bit for, the comedy." It's literally mid-sentence, just stopped. Because Tony Hawk was on the panel. But yeah, I love all the Tony Hawk stories about him. That feels like old Activision would do something like that. Maybe new Activision would as well. But I feel like that's very much an old Activision thing to have some sort of Hawk Tuah reference in a Tony Hawk game or video series or something. But yeah. Yeah, so some good news for your Tony Hawk fans out there. News that hits a little closer to my heart. There's a Carmen Sandiego game for Netflix, Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. I cannot tell you how excited I am for this game. I still play the game that is shown on the screen here, if you guys can see the video version here. That still look like that. I still play other things. So, just the idea of, I'm assuming you're going to play Carmen, in this version. So it's a nice twist on it. But, it's sort of, the character look is based off of the cartoon that came out. And, sort of, it looks like, it says it's a single-player puzzle adventure game. So, yeah. Yeah, not sure exactly, I'm trying to just read this real fast. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Do you play as Carmen? I'm a little confused by it. I'll probably have to watch the trailer, but I heard this, you know, I guess we're sort of capturing. Is Carmen working for the cops now? Is that what this is? But anyway, I'm excited. The Carmen Sandiego franchise is something very near and dear to my heart. Like I said, I still play all the old computer games every so often that I have downloaded. You know, to play here, and the show was one of my things growing up. Yeah, because yeah, my thing was, what I thought was that I guess I didn't read this. There's two different modes, so that might have been where my confusion lied. But either way, I'll probably play this game for sure, 100%. It might even be a great stream game. But I want to bring that to everyone's attention here. And finally, as we always do, whenever something plays up from PlayStation Plus or Game Pass or stuff, so the PlayStation Plus Games Catalog editions. I remember the monthly games this month is MLB The Show, Little Nightmares 2, I believe it's 2, and the Quidditch game, if you want to download those. I downloaded 2 of the 3. But if you have PlayStation Plus, I guess this would be the extra level and some of the premium levels, but available for downloads now. Plucky Squire, Under the Waves, Night in the Woods movie, Chernobylite, Wildcard Football, Space Engineers, Road 96, and some of these are probably for the higher levels, but Ben 10, Far Cry 5, I would assume is definitely a premium, Pistol Whip, Secret Agent Clank, Sky Gunner, and Mr. Mosquito, which is very much a cult classic game there. I'll scroll down to... Ooh, that looks good. Survival horror game. Okay. We need to tell Jen about that. And, yeah, so... Yeah, there's Far Cry 5, blah, blah, blah. Pistol Whip, that's a VR game, I guess? Okay. And Mr. Mosquito. There's your boy. Right there. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, going back to, since I switched back over to chat, yes, I will dox Carmen live on stream. As long as Rockapella is with me, I will do it. But yeah, I would love Tom to play Mr. Mosquito. Such a weird game. Yeah, my favorite line was, it got a decent review, but it was like, it's a little short and about $10 more than what they would have paid for it when it came out, which makes a lot of sense for those of us that have played or seen Mr. Mosquito. But yeah, we'll leave our boy up there as I close out the show here. Yeah, thank you guys for joining me. I'll switch back over to full camera here. Yeah, so we will be live tonight. We'll come back for some Nier, probably just an hour and a half, maybe 2 of Nier. And then for those of you listening to the podcast for the audio version or watching the YouTube version, we'll be back tonight with Donkey Kong Country. And then I'll see you guys on Friday for the news hour. Like I said, with things going on this week, in my life, it might be another Saturday or Sunday Game Ball Pod. But for now, everything goes well, fingers crossed. Friday, I should be able to do it with no problem. Saturday, I was debating taking a Saturday off. We'll see. I might still do that. after the Persona playthrough, and then we'll start a tournament. Tournament nights will definitely start on the 28th, I believe is, yeah, 28th. For sure, I'll definitely start playing that on that Saturday. Next Saturday, we'll just see how it goes. And see what we'll play. Maybe we'll do something real quick, or maybe we'll have 2 nights of Nier to catch up from all the Nier skips that I've been doing. But yeah, thank you all for joining me. It's been fun as always. Be sure to keep an eye out for the TinyURL for the Extra Life donations. Just a recap, we're going to be doing the first 4 Saturdays of November, different types of streams. All is just like a good boxing match. The card is subject to change. The one thing that is definitely locked in, minus health, personal, things out of my control. I will do Extra Life Day, which I think is either the 2nd or the 9th. I think that's right. One of those 2 Saturdays, I will do my 12 to 18 hour stream virtually. But everything else, we will figure out a schedule for virtual, or if we're all be in the same room for something, thing to do. So, yeah. Thank you guys for joining me. And we'll see you next time. Bye.